Hi everyone, it's Brigitte and I'm here to show you a fun little shaker card like this one. We're gonna do something very similar. So you can see it's a shaker, but also at the same time the little like crab and the little girl, they twirl on their own, and I put a little like weight so they come back to their normal position. It's not perfect, but it's paper and I think it's kind of fun. So I hope you can join me to make it. Just leave it here for now and I'll show you what you need. Like for now, what I did is the pool, like the background of the pool, I used a nautical netting to do it. So just a simple sponge. On this card, what I did here, I used the little fairies. I think it was Fairy Village, and it had little rocks, and I made all like the side of the pool. Hi Rona, bonjour. And but it does take a little bit of time, so I won't do it. What I did is I picked a paper, and the pool's gonna have like a wood around it. That paper is from Photoplay Camp Happy Bear. I got it at the last shop, the box. So what you're gonna need also, you're gonna need foam tape. So, and you need like 2 layers. It's a lot easier. So I was running like almost finished my set, so I opened the other box. And you're gonna need sequin to make it for the shaker part. So again, another shop the box previous one. So I have a few different ones. I like to put different colors. And now you can see my wire and everything going on. And obviously you're gonna need plastic or acetate. So it's gonna be hard to see. Pennies or dime or whatever. Like in Canada, they don't do it anymore. So bonjour Anna. Hey Mary Pat. So 2 pennies for one for the crab and one for the little girl. If you just want to put the little girl or just the crab, that's fine too. Obviously your card base, and I use that's just to do the bottom of the pool. So we'll start, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out to build the card, and then if we have time we can color. You can think about what colors you want to use. I'm going to use Copics, and yeah, so like that you can write it to me. Don't pick green, because my favorite green combo, one of my pen is really all screwed up and I can't do anything with it. So what I'm gonna start with, I like my sprays, so I have it's a Nouveau sparkle spray that I got again at a shop the box. So I'm just gonna spray it quickly so it can dry for a little bit. So what I do, like I have a really ugly box that I have, so it doesn't spray everywhere, and I think light would be better. Here we go, I forgot that. And I'm just gonna spray like lightly, and the reason I spray it before instead of after is that I wanted the pattern of the nautical netting, I mean, to be on top instead of at the bottom of the spray. So I'm just gonna let that dry. It really doesn't take very long to dry. So what I'm gonna talk about now is the shape of the pool. Basically, right now I just like hand drawn it and then cut it. You can use just a die cut, and that's what I wanted to do, and I totally forgot to do it. Do an oval one, like on whichever angle you want. So you can do whatever you want, it doesn't matter, like it's your pool. If you wanted to make it in shape of an animal, or you can do whatever you want. So I think what I'm gonna do, unless you have something specific in mind, hey Sheila, I might try to do an oval pool, but it has to be fairly big that your people can fit in it, but at the same time you don't want it so big that you can't glue your edges. And I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. Okay, can't find my... So what I mean is, like here, you have to put like foam tape around all the edges. So if you don't give yourself like a lot of space, like I didn't give myself a lot of space here, and you can kind of see the foam here. So the better way is to give yourself more room, and it would be better. Hi, Margaret. And right now, I'm just trying to find my oval, and here they are, and I think that's gonna be too small. So what we can do is, like, because like I can't really see there, what I'm gonna do is I just gonna, oh, okay, the other side. I won't use this side, so I just gonna freehand put my glasses on. I think I was too busy like listening to Kim with the mini like last chance that like I didn't really get ready, and I'm like all screw up a bit. So it doesn't matter the shape. Like I say, just leave yourself some room on the edges. That's like the most important thing. So you can't really see that, but it's okay. And I'll just start like, oops, sorry here. Give myself a little bit of a cut. I'm a horrible cutter, that's why I bought a scan and cut. And don't forget that like the part that you're cutting out, you can reuse on another card, either that shape or just like cut it after. So, and I'm not really following like the lines really well because it doesn't matter. There we go. So that's my pool. And this is still good, so keep it for another card. So basically, and you can put it like obviously any which way you want, like on your card. I cut the acetate. It's just slightly bigger, slightly smaller than that. So even if I'm not like centered, it won't show up on the side of the card. So, and the trick to make the little guy twirl is that you have to put holes through your acetate, and then you're gonna have the penny in between, like I'm gonna explain. Hi, Danielle. So what we're gonna do is to make the little hole, like I just put, like, first of all, what we're gonna do is we're gonna glue the acetate to the paper. So just on the edge, just using my runner here. I hope everybody can hear me and see me properly. You can use like whatever, like glue or tape or whatever that you want, as long as it works properly. So kind of hard to see with the plastic, and I have like cat hair like usual. Hi, Kim. And here you go. Like I said, I kind of went like over. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut it right away so I don't forget about it. So I just have like a bunch of different tools here. Okay, thanks, Anna. So I'm just gonna cut the little part of that I don't want to see. So there we go. Oh, that's okay, Kim. You're really busy. I know that. Okay, so now I have like the pool is kind of done, so that wasn't too bad. And I'm gonna show you what I use for foam tape for the inside. And what I mean with the inside for the little peep, like the little character, I use like Stampin' Up! As like those tiny little like roundish kind of shape of foam tape. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use that's a permanent marker, and I'm just gonna like kind of like copy the shape of it where I want the people. So I want one here, and I'm gonna put the other one just here. Because what happened is, if you have a punch that's the size of that hole, most of the time it's too far from the edge, so you can't get to it. So that's why either you can use an X-Acto knife, which I'm really sucky at, or what you can use is scissor or anything. I have a little kit that was from Making Memory from a long time ago, so it has a little hammer and it's a kind of punch, but you can use it wherever you want. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna be a little bit loud, I'm just telling you right now, and I'm gonna put the white paper under so I can see what I'm doing, because right now, here we go, much better. And what I want to do is I'm gonna like tap it until I don't see the purple anymore. And you might want to mute your sound for just till I'm done. And to make sure that it works, like that your hole is big enough, you can go back and put like your little like foam. Right now, I'll just make it a tiny bit bigger. And the reason it's okay, like even if it's not perfect, is I'm using sequin that doesn't have like the little like sand kind of powder or something, so it won't go out through the hole. And I could have done that off screen before. Yeah, it does come in as a metal kit. It's an awesome kit, Sheila. It's just how, like, first of all, I didn't know what shape of pool I would make, and I wanted to show you how I did it. So that's why, so sorry for the noise here. So just do the other one quickly. And it's not a perfect science here. Honestly, like the first card, what I did is I marked it, like I wrote it, and I made like my scan and cut it. So I knew it was like right perfect. And you have to make it a tiny little bit bigger, just so you're sure that it doesn't bind to it. So now I have my two holes. Hope you can see. 1, 2. And I'll just put that aside. Right now, you wouldn't believe the mess on my desk. Like, we just put everything, like, I'm pretty sure all the other DTs, it's the same thing. You put everything on your desk that you need, and then it just explodes. So that part is done. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put it aside. That's been dry for a bit. So it just, like, has the shimmer, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the nautical netting. I like to use it at a different angle, like than like the straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm going to see it all over the place, like, so that's pretty good. And some magnets. And does anybody have a preference for pool color? Like the bottom of the pool? Anybody? I was going to go like in the like kind of normalish color. I'll use, I think, that makes a lovely lagoon and mermaid melody. I think that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna use like a blending little sponges. For some reason they don't seem to stick always. Lovely lagoon, okay. Perfect, Mary Pat. So just going over top. And I'm not like being scientific or anything here. You're gonna see I'm gonna have a line here, but it's gonna be hidden, so it doesn't really matter. And I'm putting a bunch of sparkly on my sponge and on my ink pad. I didn't notice that. And I kind of move here. I'm really good at doing that, like moving. Okay. And if you just put magnet on the stencil and you don't put it on the paper, that's what happens. So. And what I'm going to do, like I mentioned, I'm just going to put a little bit of Mermaid Melody on top, just for accents, and on the side of the pool so it's a little bit darker. And that's where I put my phone, so I don't lose them, and they're in my box and everything. It just makes it a little bit darker here. And that's Mermaid Melody. So did anybody watch the Last Chance kind of Shop the Bookish? Anyway, that Kim just did? Did anybody of you get something? I got one stem set. And just quickly like that. Hey, there's a lot of people. So that was Mermaid Melody. So that's gonna be the bottom of the pool basically. Gonna make it, I made it a little bit lighter than the other one. The other one I used what is it? The Sandy Shores that I put here, but because it was on a like the color was almost like the Lovely Lagoon, so it made it look darker. So that's what it looks like. And like I said, it doesn't matter like those sides here, because like I'll just add the pool on top of it and it won't show. So, oh, awesome, Mary Pat. Hi, Carrie. So sometimes like even like if it's not perfect, it's still okay. So that's our bottom. Just gonna do the cleanup. It's easier to rub it with a cloth when you just do it. Like it's like kind of like still wet, so it works pretty good. Because when you put another color on top, like if I was putting a yellow on top of it right now, it would lift the green and it would, like the Mermaid Melody, and it would go a funny color. So I try to always clean them right after. Thank you, Mary Pat. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that aside with all the other stuff that's aside that you can't see it because it's off camera. You wouldn't believe the mess it is. Like there is on my desk right now, and that's just me moving stuff, so I'm very loud right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually assemble the card like I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna do the coloring after. So I have the bottom of my pool here. I have, whoops, my pennies. I have my card base, so it's just a plain card base, white card base. I have my pool shape, and I have like my two little people, but I didn't color them yet. So to cheat, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a piece of paper, and I already measured, like check, that's 1 inch puncher, circle punch. So 1, 2, and I just plain white cardstock. And because I don't have my little people like colored yet, that's going to replace it. And I made sure that it was smaller so I can hide it when I glue them on top of the circle. So that's just like basically because we're like, I'm doing it with you right now, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to finish everything. What I'm going to do is, I forgot to do, is I'm going to take Mermaid Melody once again, and I'm going to put it around my card base. So just, and you can think, hi Lori, and thanks Margaret there, got you. So just lightly, because that's gonna be glued like center here, and then that's gonna go on top, and we're gonna see a little bit of the edge, so I want it to be colored instead of white. So that's what I'm doing right now. I could have used a brush, but I wanted a more like a darker blending, so it's just faster with the sponge. The brush goes lighter, like you need more coats, so for the sake of time, that works just fine. And like the measure, like the card base is 6 by 6. Obviously, like it was originally 6 by 12, and then I scored it at 6 inch. And then I cut this, like the wood panel, I cut it at 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. So there's only 1/8 that you can actually see, so it's not that bad. So that's just going to be the side. And I have a tendency to glue my, hey Carla, to glue my card like the wrong way, so it would be like that, and then you have to open the card this way. So make sure you check before, just like a little tip, because sometimes I can be quite ditzy, so I have to check on that. So that should be fine. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna glue the pool on the card. Hey Carla. Yeah, well, I had a lot of fun doing it the first time, and like the first time is always the hardest because like you have to figure out things. So it was just like a little bit loud for a bit, but it doesn't need to. So again, checking where am I opening. So I'm gonna try to center it as much as I can. And that one I think was 5.5 by 5.5. Just gonna check. 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. I could have made it a little bit bigger. As long as like you don't see it, like the edge, it's okay. So that's what the pool would look like basically. So what we need to do right now is we need to put this aside for a bit, and we're gonna put foam tape. So, and you need 2 layers, because otherwise what's going on is that the sequin, they don't shape properly. So, and see, like I give myself more room than the other card. And I always use a different scissor, like I have a pair of scissors that's less like that it's for like ribbon and anything that's not paper. My paper scissor I only use for paper because I want it to cut nice all the time. So just putting the foam all around. Oh, like that's the end of my roll, as you can see. Like that. Stickle around the brown paper. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it at the end, like just for time purpose. Yeah, I put stickles everywhere. You know that. It's easier if it's flat to put the stickles. Now I already put like the foam tape, but I'll do it at the end. Like I'll show you the end product probably like just a little bit later on today. So I'll add stickles, that's for sure. Like this one had some, so I always add stickles everywhere. So just starting a new foam tape. I just used the largest one. It doesn't really matter, but it's just like if you have more surface, it's just a little bit more stable. Like that. And the last one, which I'm gonna use a little bit thinner because I'm close to the edge here. So this one, like that's a kit, like it's Forever in Time, I think, that Kim carries for the Shop the Box usually. So it has 3 different thickness, so I'm just going to use the middle one just to make sure that we won't be able to see the tape. Yeah, actually I'm even going to use the thinnest one just to make sure. There we go. Hey Carrie. There we go. So like that, I know for sure that it's going to be good. And I'll just put a little one because like you want your shaker to be closed so nothing comes out of it. Yeah, they are great. Okay, so what I'm going to do is basically I'm putting another coat. So I'm removing the liner one at a time so I'm not sticking everywhere. Like this. And I'm just putting it on top. That's the skinny one. I hope I'm not making you too sick. Oops, remove the backing. Oops. There we go. And no, I'm going to use the larger one to do each side again. I hope you can see properly and my head is not in the way. Like that. Second to last side. And one thing you have to remember is that foam tape actually does stick on all edges, so even on the width. So if you don't want your sequin or whatever you put in your card to stick to the edge, you actually have to use, what I do is I use a little like static pouch or embossing buddy or whatever they want to call it. There's also a little bottle with little brushes that has powder in it. It doesn't matter which kind it is, as long as it has some kind of powder to get it to stop sticking. So I'll just show you in a sec what to do. And I'll show you also why, like, all my scissors are sticky. That's why I don't use that scissor for paper. I keep my paper scissor for paper only. It's like a seamstress. They use their scissors strictly for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm using my little embossed body, or like whatever you want to call it, and I make sure that I put a lot of powder on the inside there so that the sequin, they don't stick to the side when I shake. I didn't do it properly like the other card, so it kind of stick like on one side. It's pretty bad. And what I'm going to do, like, it's going to leave like little powder, but once it's like stuck to the tape, it doesn't matter, so I'm just going to blow it out so the acetate or the plastic that you use still like stays nice and clear. Or you can have like big cat hair in it. I do have a lot of cat hair around. So far it's not too hard, right? There we go. So I should have done it like properly right now. And what you want to do is have little pennies here, and I already measure, like I need 3 of those in height to make sure that my little people are actually like on top of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put 3, and I won't put it center, so like that it's gonna make it that they're gonna be off balance, and they're gonna swirl when you move them, hopefully. So just 3 on each penny. Try to put them as straight as possible. So as you can see here, like there's 3 height, and I'm gonna do the same with the other one. So and you can use like pennies or whatever you want. Don't forget to remove the back. Okay, so what you want to do now, like, is you want to make sure once again to put the little powder on all the edges, because you don't want it to, like, you don't want the sequin to stick to it, and also you don't want the foam tape to stick to the plastic when it turns, like it won't turn properly. So make sure you put like a lot. And what we're gonna do is, like, I'm assembling everything. There I go. I'm gonna remove the little top. And I'm gonna put a fake, like, so we're gonna stick the images right after, but like that it won't, like, it's stuck. Hi Mary. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the other little guy. And like I said earlier, if you want to just put like one character, that's fine too. If you want to put your pool a little bit smaller, you can do like circle or oval die cut, or even like a square. It doesn't really matter, right? So what I'm gonna do right now is I'll put some powder just for static wise here. Gonna put a little bit of different color sequin. Oh, Carrie, you got the camping set on sale and the with the add-on. Oh, Good in the Woods. Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm just gonna put like different color. It doesn't really matter. Whoops. As you can see, I'm like, my big finger just decided that color was going in. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's like I'm cooking or something. Some greens also. And I'm gonna finish with, I can't remember what it's called, Stardust. It has some stars and stuff, so like that. Or you can use all the same, right? Doesn't really matter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to like kind of, first of all, make sure I have the opening the right place. And because like I'm gonna put it this way, and I know here I have a this way. It doesn't really matter which way I'm putting it. Yeah. So I'm gonna remove the backing. On all the sides. Oops. Sorry about that. And then I'm just gonna like try to center it, because I didn't give myself a lot, like it's just 1/8 smaller, so I want it to be there. We go. Make sure it's all stuck down properly and shake it. Woo! Sorry, that's my favorite part. And you can see here, like, I didn't put enough probably powder, because it sticks a little bit at the bottom, but it's not too bad. So now what we have left is to color the little people. Basically what we're gonna do is, once we color them, we're just gonna cut around and like glue them on top of it. And because they're on pennies, they're gonna move. And the penny is not center, like I said, so it's gonna want to go back to the normal position, the neutral position. Thanks, Mary Pat. So I could play with those forever. Okay, so anybody thought about like the color they wanted to use for their character? That was your homework while I was doing that. Just gonna grab a sip of water while you decide what color for the tube and what color for the swimming suit, basically. Unless you want funny colors. What I'll do, I'll start with her skin. So like that. I always use like more or less the same combo. I think for tube, okay. Like I say, no green because my green is sick. I'll just move that aside a bit and zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully it works. There we go. Green first. Okay, yeah, no, it's okay, Mary. It's just I had issue with my green. My YJ63 is not is all gummy, and I can't blend properly. I discovered that the last live, and I was wondering like why. Oh, yellow and pink, that would be awesome, and some purple somewhere too. Okay, so that's all we'll do. So I'll just do the skin quickly. I stamped it with Sandy Shore because it's not as dark as like obviously black, and it kind of tends to disappear, so I like the look of it. The colors I'm using, it's E04, E11, E21, E00, and E000. I go from dark to light. Some people go from light to dark. It's a preference. What I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna use E21. It's like a middle ground of one of my colors, and I'm gonna do the like where the dark would be, the darker color would be. But sometimes what happens is if I use that E04 right away, it doesn't want to blend so well, so I kind of cheat it and I use it with that one. So under her nose is going to be darker, obviously around her hair. And I don't do the whole skin together because I like, it's easier to blend when it's wet. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do her face, then I'm going to do her arms, and then her legs. So now that's E04. I hope, oops, okay, yeah, that's, sorry, I just noticed, Mary, thank you. So, okay, so basically I did with E21, I did around the edges, under her nose, and her inner ears. Now I'm going back with E04. It's going to be easier to blend because now it's a little bit wet because I put the E21. So I won't put it till the bottom because I'm going to have like a big shadow under her neck and in her ear, like just like inside. Under her nose is going to be darker too. So I'm gonna go my second darkest color, so that's E11. So I hope it's better now, like you can see it a bit better. And I'm just blending so I don't have a big line between the E11 and E04. And if like I go outside the line, it doesn't matter because like the hair is gonna cover it for now. So like that, and I'm using that's expressive paper, so it's supposedly like kind of the official Copic paper, but I think it depends on the country and everything like that. So I'm gonna have shadows also under our sunglasses, so just gonna put a little bit of E11, and that's E21. So again, doing the same thing, going over the previous color and going a little bit past it. And her ear, a little bit on her ear also. E00. So some more again. And I have an issue with my computer for some reason. My Google is like frozen. So that's E000, so the lightest color here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use R20 for cheek. And because like I'll just put a little bit at other spot because she's probably gonna get like a little bit sunburn if she's like me. So a little bit on the top of her nose here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend it with my E000 on her cheek, just like a bit like a blender brush on your, like if you were putting makeup. Let on her nose the same thing. And since I didn't have E000 on her forehead, I'm just gonna blend it a little bit with E21. So that gives her a little bit of color. Like I say, if she's like me, she's gonna get red, that's for sure. So just gonna try to blend that a little bit more here. And if you're not happy with some of the details, you can always go back. So I'm just gonna put, like, give her back kind of her nose under. That's E04. Don't forget that the wetter it is, the more it's gonna like spread the color. So if you want to add a detail, just wait till it dries and then go back to it. You can also do that. So let's do the rest of her body. So under her chin, it's gonna be darker. So that's my E11, like inner cleavage here. Just in like armpit, between her fingers, just like that. So I'm gonna do the other side. Like her shoulder is gonna be a little bit lighter because that's where the light's gonna hit it first. Hope you can still see. Like that. So I'm gonna go E11. So under her chin, obviously it's gonna be the darkest. Her cleavage, like I mentioned. And because it's fine line, just use the tip of your pen if you can. And I know I'm moving this, like I want you to be able to see what I'm doing, so her arm, it's going to be like her hand here, it's going to be darker because the ice cream is hiding it. So that was E11. So I'm going back with, yeah, that was E04, sorry. I'm going back with E11, blending. So I want to make sure there's no arch line. And sometimes, like, if there's not much room, you just like basically touch it. You don't need much. So E21. E21, like if I don't have enough room, that's usually the one I kind of skip. But right now I have like some room. So just like that. Can use E00. And E000. So I don't use a lot of each. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little bit of noise right now, but when you go outside the line, I think I show it on every live that I color with Copic, but you can always like erase. So what I do is, that's my colorless blender. I go under it and I push it towards the color. And what you want to do is you have to dry it right away with a heat gun. Sorry for the noise here. So like that, it doesn't come back. And if you can see, like, whoops, in one shot, like what was outside the line is right back in. So it didn't take very much. Obviously it's not very dark. Here I have like, it's like a huge line of E04 in her hair. So once again with the heat gun, and sometimes if it's darker you have to do it like 2 or 3 times till you're happy with the result. Or if it's like just pale enough that you can actually work with it for your other color, then that's good also. But it's just like, it didn't take very long and I already like fixed what was outside the color, like the lines. So here I'm gonna do a couple other spots. Oops. So like that. So I'm gonna continue with her belly and her legs. So E11, and she has her cute little belly button. I think it's so adorable. So she would have like some shade under the swimming suit. Her leg, this one is under the other one, so obviously it's gonna be darker here. And don't you think her toes are the cutest thing ever? So at the bottom of the toe would be darker a bit, behind her toes also. Thank you, Mary Pat. So that's E04, my darkest color. A little bit, and I'm just gonna go back to my nose here. And sometimes like I'm kind of like grazing more the paper than touching it, so like then actually really coloring. There we go. E11 again, going back to blend with what I did with the E04. And then extending the color like the other time. So did you guys or girls like did all the challenges or tried to participate in some of them? Did any of you like did the journaling live with Kim? Was the Shop the Box fun? Like I'm not a journaling person, so I didn't go, but sometimes you can like get stuff that's good for everything anyway. So that's E21. I'm just going like a little bit further with the color. E00. And I'm gonna do E000 at the end. So like our knee would be lighter, because it would be like raised more. The top of her toes a little bit more. And the center of her belly would be a little bit lighter also. So that's her skin. Oh, did you, Marifet? Oh, good for you. So I'm just closing all my markers here. So the first challenge, oh yeah, it's celebration, right? And it's great weekend for that. It was Canada Day on Wednesday, I think, and it was 4th of July yesterday. So had lots of fun too. I did 2 Canada Day card because I'm Canadian, so French Canadian, as you can recognize my accent there, but hey. Okay, so we'll do our bikini, I think. Okay, yellow for the suit and pink for the tube, and we're gonna do some purple also. So we'll do yellow. Our bathing suit is very small, so I'm just grabbing my colors out there. So I'm starting, like E35 is a brown color, obviously. It's just like with yellow, if you don't use, like if you just use yellows, it's gonna look like one color because you don't have any contrast. So that's why I'm using that one. And I'm gonna use E38, 35, 32, and Y11. I think I said E, but E in French is Y. Anyway, so I won't do a French course here. So a little bit of E35 on the edges to give some shade, and right at the bottom here, E38. And some of my markers are newer than other ones, so the tip is a little bit skinnier, so it's easier to do fine detail. Any preference for hair color? I'll skip E35 because it's such a small area. So E32. Thank you, Chris. Yeah, just like watch the replay. That's the beauty of this, right? We're just gonna put it back on and everybody can watch it. And that's Y11. Keep saying the E. So I think it's kind of like really washed out. So I'll just add like I'll go again. So E35, that's E, the real E, like Earth. 35. Then Y, 38. And I'm going down again, sorry, my gosh. Would be nice if you can like yell at me through like the microphone, so when I'm off the screen or something you could just like tell me, instead of me just babbling and like watching from time to time. Y32. And Y11. So, and I left the side of her bikini, like I didn't put any color. What I want to do is I'm gonna actually put like a two-tone bikini. So I'll put a little bit of purple there. Just putting my Copics away. So 11, there's a few combos. Sometimes the 11 you have to work a little bit more at it to blend them. I'm gonna use V09. There we go. V15 and V12. And I'm gonna also use V000 for the lightest shading here. So I'm gonna do like the sunglasses. I'm just checking what I did with the other one. So that's V09. And I'm gonna like do both their sunglasses. I'm gonna do his after, or just like, can't see if he has lashes or not, so let's call him a boy crab for now. So that's V15. Did anybody like go to the beach or something this weekend? We went to Sandbanks. It's like 3.5 hours away. We went there, so 7-hour trip, and we went in the water for about 15 minutes. It was really nice. That's V12. We met like my sister-in-law there with like keeping the social distancing. They were doing camping there, so we met them. They left from Quebec, and that's V000. So I'll just go back. I'm not using V09 again because it's so very dark. So that's V15. And obviously, like, now that the skin is done, just be careful adding the other colors. So that's V12 and V000 once again. So I'm gonna do the little crab. His glasses, same thing. What I'm gonna do this time, I'm gonna start with the V15, sorry, and do the V09 after. You're gonna see sometimes it's easier to blend when you put a little bit lighter color first. I keep forgetting to go over, and I didn't put like the side also in the bikini. Just a smidge of the V09, and I'll blend it back with the V15 after. That V12. And finish with V000. So now it's like, I just noticed it's 12:05. If you want, I can continue coloring, or I can just do it on my own and pop back like this afternoon with the end result. Whoops, sorry. Because I know like there's a live, I think it's at 1 o'clock if I'm checking here. Yeah, 1 o'clock. Oh, Delphin is popping a video, I think. And so, or I can continue. Did anybody think about the hair color? I'll do the tube in the meantime. So I'm using R85, 83, 81, and a little bit of R89 for the shadows. And I want to show you something before, because in the other one, as you can see, I put the netting at the back, so like that it fit with the rest of it, and I colored it. So I just want to show you I did that really quickly. I'm waking up my cat right now. So what I did is I just like went over it, and then as you can see, like I want to kind of fit it a little bit with the how I want to put my characters. So if I want to put it normally, they're gonna go that way on the I'll zoom out if I can. The ice cream chocolate, strawberry and vanilla. Okay, right now I have a really hard time zooming out. I always have a hard time zooming in and out with the live. Okay, anyway, so I want to make sure that the orientation of what I want her to be normally is right. So I'm gonna be like doing it that way, like the hair on the one you finish. Oh, so that was like a brownish, so I'll put it a little bit like that. So basically, like, I'm just filling a little space. I'm probably gonna need this as a drawing. Have to remember to make it so you can see. There you go. And I'll do the same with like the crab. It's like that, and so I'll keep like kind of whitish, and the other one I'll do a turquoise. And I discovered that some of my, like that's BG 49 and 45, and some of them are drawings, so well, these ones are fine. So I'm just gonna like quickly draw it. Obviously when you're gonna move it like the little character, it won't be exactly at the right spot anymore, but you get the gist of it, right? That was BG 49. Thanks, Carla. And that's BG 45. So it just makes it that it's not completely white behind her. And because we have like the penny under and stuff like that. We can't really cut that part because you're gonna see like kind of the mechanism. I'm using that that term very loosely, so it just like gives it a little bit of color in the background. And since there's like little dots, you can do like with the tip, very tip, like do like tiny little dots a little bit. It's not the same, but a little bit like that. And we'll like fade them a little bit with the colorless. Oops. The other one, like I colored with pencil, so it was a little bit easier to reproduce. Yeah, I kind of like it. Just I just think it makes it, it finishes it. So when I'm gonna put her, like I'm gonna put her at the top here, it's kind of gonna fit a little bit. I'm just gonna just discover that it's a little bit lighter, so I'll add like that's B01, so I'll just put a little bit lighter color inside. So, and I can always like lighten it up a little bit with the colorless blender to fit with the pool. So I'm gonna do the tube. I won't finish the crab, it's just gonna like run too long. I'll do the tube, her hair, and the ice cream cone, and have ice cream, vanilla, chocolate, raspberry, and vanilla. No problem. The other time I think I did the, well, it was chocolate, strawberry, and pistachio because that's my favorite. What's your favorite ice cream? So that's R85. And you can use like put a bunch of patterns on your tube. I won't because like the card is like already busy enough. But the girls, like the Titi, did wonderful. They put like the hearts that came with the set. They put like even the nautical netting or the anyway, like there's so many patterns, like the lots of dots you can use for that. The happy hearts, even the paws, like the any of the stencil, and you can do like a wonderful background for the tube. I'll do one side, and then after that I'll do the other side. Like I said, I like it when it stays wet. Okay, butter pecan, yeah, that's nice too. Butterscotch ripple. There's so many flavors, right? It's crazy now. Just gonna put a little bit of darker shadow here with R89. And it's easier to blend when the line is not so skinny. Like, but sometimes you don't have any choice if your image is very small. Like we're lucky here, the tube is quite big, so that gives us like lots of room to put a bigger shadow here. Pecan praline or chocolate chip cookie dough Mary Pat. Are you a sweet girl? Some people like super sweet. I like dark chocolate compared to like milk chocolate. That's, I'm going back to R85. I'm blending back my R89. And see how it, like it's a very dark color, R89, so sometimes like you need to work at it more. And you have to make sure, like if you're putting a lot of color, be careful that it doesn't bleed in the other, like where you already color or outside of your lines. Yeah, super sweet. Yeah, my husband is like, oh my gosh, it's crazy sweet. I think his whole family like You can, if you can inject like sugar right into their bloodstream, I think they would be happy. I like chips better, but then like I never like. I'm not sure if a chip ice cream would be nice. I doubt that somewhat. So I'm still like with my R85 here. And you can see like it. I need a lot of love to blend it here. That's R83, and here like I went outside the line. It doesn't matter because when I gotta cut it, I can cut that out, or I can make it disappear with my little trick with the colorless blender and the heat gun. So R83. And I always color like over paper on Copic, because if you look at the back, you can like see this. But the thing is, if you completely like saturate your paper and you're coloring like on plastic or hard surface, what's gonna happen is like the color tends to go back out to the front. So everything that you color kind of like, yeah, is kind of like all screwed up. So I always color on paper. And I'll go R81 to finish. And make sure that you fill your Copics before they get dry. Because once you're at that point, sometimes it's hard to bring them back. So what I'm going to do is I'll go back like with my R85 because I'm not so happy with the blend here. I'm not putting more R89, it's dark enough. That's R83. And R81. So I'll do the other side. Start with R85. And around the edges. Here. And with R89. And also, like, another reason I like using like the no line coloring effect is that if I'm going out of the line, a lot of time it doesn't show. So I'm going back with R85. And that R89 is really, really dark, as you can see. And for her hair, I won't be able to do exactly the same color just because the other one was in pencil. But I'll try to do a little like, what do you call it in English? I'm not too sure. That's R83. Dirty blonde? Yeah, dirty blonde. So I'll try to do a little dirty blonde here. And I think I already mentioned it, but I really need to change my glasses to see from up close, so that's not helping anything. So that's R81. Which medium do you like the best to color? You like Copic, pencils, watercolor? Just write it in the comments. So just go back again with the colors, so R85. R83. Copic, Mary? Okay. So leave it like that. What I'm gonna do is I put a little bit of pink on her arm, and since it's so skinny, I wanna fight it again, her arm I mean. So I'm taking its E000, and I'll just, because it's so light, it's gonna push the pink outside, but I'm gonna use it like I did with to erase. So I use my heat gun right away so the pink doesn't go back in her arm. And I'll do it one more time, very lightly, and the heat gun again. That's like that. So I'll do her hair. I usually like, there's different colors I use. Use E27, E23, YR24, and YR31. So I love doing hair. That's my favorite thing. So it's just like fine line. So I start with the darkest color, so that's E27, and you don't want them the same length. So I'm gonna use like from the bottom and from the top. Sometimes if I stop, I'm checking like to see that I'm still centered, because I have a tendency to move. And I discovered that with the pencil, it's easier to do fine lines. Arteza alcohol markers, how are they working? And I usually would like, there's always a way that's easier for you, either that it's from top to bottom or the other way around. It doesn't really matter, but usually try like to do it the way that you feel more comfortable. And the easiest way is just like to try to do like little flicks, like a bunch of times, like, and then go the way that you feel more comfortable. So that's was E27. Now I'm gonna use E23. So I'm just going on top and extending. And if I have room in between to add, but you don't want to like fill all the colors because it's just gonna look like a big sheet of color instead of like here. They're working well? Okay, good. And I would assume that they're cheaper than Copic. I mean, I don't think there's anything that's more expensive than Copic, but oops. Thanks, Carla. I like when the character has like super long hair, so I can like put lots of color, and that's my favorite. Gonna go wire 24. Oh, they're much cheaper. Okay, well that's good. Wire 24, so that gives me like my the gold I like kind of deal. So you want to leave like some space in between the color, like each strand. You don't want them to have Lego hair. Then, and I'm gonna finish with the YR31. It's a lighter blonde. So she got the highlight here. So I'll just come back like my E27. Just had some depth. And sometimes if you're not able to go exactly on the same like flicks that you did, it's okay too. And for some reason, like, I don't know if you have the same thing, but my Copic, it just seems that like some of them, they're gonna be like finer in one orientation. Like I just like flip it like that and it's gonna be finer. So I have to find the sweet spot. Going back to E23. Wire 24. And just put a couple of spots here, not everywhere. And wire 31. I still want to leave like a couple of white spots for highlights. so that's okay. So I'll leave it at that for now. I'll do really quickly the cone and then I'll let you go. So I'll use I want E35 and 31 for the cone. So I'm gonna use just a little bit less color so I can go a little bit faster. Plus it's very small. E35 back. And E31. Thank you, Mary Pat. And you can see like little like chirping kind of. That's my cat that just woke up. For the pink, for the strawberry ice cream, I'll use the same color as the tube. I won't use the darkest color though. I'll use the R85 and I'll use the top one, so like that. And R81. Chocolate, I like using, I'm gonna use E77 and hey Sabrina, and E71. It's almost like a velvety color. Sorry for the sweet tooth, I think I did like dark chocolate. And then vanilla, I'll use E43 and E40 because I don't want to leave it white. Like vanilla is not white, first of all. Just a little touch. So that's E43 and E49, 41. And I'm gonna finish blending it with my blender just so I don't have a harsh line like that. So that's what she looks like. So I'm really gonna try to zoom out and still doesn't work. I'm gonna move you a little bit because sometimes it's easier if I'm off. My gosh, I'm very sorry about that. Here we go. You can see all the mess on my desk at the same time and all the Copics. So I won't make you watch me cut because I'm horrible at it. I'm probably gonna put in my scan and cut. And I did like, I'm opening it to make sure I like glued it at the right angle because that's me a lot. So basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna glue my little girl in that position, but because she's gonna be standing on the penny, she's gonna be like able to freely move. I'm gonna color the little crab, I'm gonna put him there, and then we're gonna have a twirly shaker card. So by the end of this afternoon, for sure, like Eastern time, I'm gonna be done with him and them, and I'll show you the finished product. So I hope you learned something and that you had fun, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you. Bye.